McKenzie, I know you want to be a coach when your career is done, and I know that's kind of your role right now. So, as one of the coaches out on the field in that quarterback room, how are the guys looking so far during spring practice?
I mean, all four of them, they look really sharp. I mean, Hayden hasn't been taking much rest because he's kind of going into a coaching role too. But all of them are making improvements. They're all looking really good.
Is that going to be a tough decision for Coach Hype and Levy, just based on what you've seen? For someone to separate themselves in the next 2 weeks, or how typical do you think that decision is going to be to name the number one?
I think it's going to be very tough. I think all four guys are capable of, being the guy. I think they all can win games for us. But I think it's going to be, the guy that wins the locker room in that aspect, and the guy that gives us the best chance to win.
What are you trying to provide out there on the field and in the meeting rooms and?
Just game knowledge. I'm one of the guys in the QB room that's played the most snaps, and I don't think you can kind of simulate that kind of stuff. So I think I can provide some knowledge in that aspect, and just seeing the game, just giving them some tips. But I try to let them do their thing as well because I know they're here for a reason. They're very good players. So just give them as much help as I can without stepping on anybody's toes.
What have you learned about coaching throughout this process and kind of how you communicate with guys?
It's different, and you got to approach everybody in a different way because everybody has different personalities. Some guys you can harp on, some guys you got to talk to in different ways. But I think you got to put in a lot of hours, and I'm not even like a full coach per se. The hours they put in is unreal. So, but it's been a good little jump start for sure.
What's it like working with Dylan, who obviously you were familiar with back in Hawaii, and maybe seeing him as a young guy and having him here? What's that been like?
It's been a lot of fun. He's like a little brother to me. Just seeing him grow. I mean, just in 10 practices in spring has been awesome. He's made a lot of improvement, and just his body, he's already put on about 10 pounds. So it's been fun to watch him grow.
People kind of describe him as a left-handed McKenzie Milton. Do you kind of see some of yourself when you watch him play?
Yeah, definitely. I would probably say he's further along than I was as a freshman in terms of throwing the ball and seeing defenses. So he's definitely got some work to do, but, he's got his own little flair. He's Dylan Gabriel. He's not McKenzie Milton. So I think he's going to do his own thing, and I think he's going to do great.
How different do you see the game now, sort of stepping off the field and watching it from a different angle?
You definitely see it from a different perspective. I've been trying to sit on some defensive meetings with Coach Shannon and just kind of see how he sees the game. But, you kind of see everything. Being a QB, you only see from, like, this perspective. Being a coach, you see everything. So it's been cool. It's been different. And, I feel like I can kind of coach up everybody on the field in a sense. But, it's been a cool experience so far.
What's the update on your health? Where are you?
I'm about 2 months out of my last surgery. I'm able to weight bear about 75 pounds of pressure on my legs. So hopefully, I'll be walking in my brace probably by the end of April because I'll be able to fully bear my weight. But, I'm just taking it slow. I'm not trying to rush anything. Just want to be as good as possible. And whatever the doctors say, that's what I'm going to do.
What do you remember about the hit and everything that happened?
Everything kind of happened fast. I remember getting hit in the leg, didn't fumble or anything, so I don't think I really felt it initially. But, when I looked up, I saw my leg kind of like dangling there. And then remember trainers coming out and the doctor replacing my knee, putting it back into place. And then, that's what I really remember. But, everything just kind of happened fast. But, I remember people praying over me too, which meant a lot. But, it was just a wild day.
When did you find out that there was a chance they may have had to amputate it?
I kind of had a feeling, because, I was rushing the surgery. I kind of had a feeling, but I didn't really find out until after, the surgery that was, a possibility. So, I had a feeling going in because why else would they be rushing me into surgery? But, thank God that, I was in the hands of some really good doctors in Tampa.
Can you talk a little bit about your aspirations of one day getting back out there on the field?
That's definitely a goal. I definitely feel like I have a chance to reach that goal, all things considered. This injury has been pretty much best case scenario with, I only tore 2 out of the 4 ligaments that, usually when you dislocate your knee, you tear everything. So that was a blessing in itself. And, I mean, it's going to be a long, slow process, but, I think all things considered, I'll make a full recovery and hopefully be back on the field.
How often do you think about it, and how much does it motivate you to get back? The injury.
I've had a lot of injuries before, so I think all those kind of prepared me for this. And it's definitely something I think about, but it's not something that, I'm thinking about every day. I'm just trying to take it day by day, get as strong as possible in every aspect of my body, not just my knee, upper body, my core, everything, mentally. I think that's the most important thing, being mentally right when I come back. So it's not something that, I'm trying to get ready tomorrow. I'm just taking it day by day, just trying to be the best I can be each day.
Even though you're helping your teammates out there, does it, as a competitor, does it still bother you? You can't be out there with them in time.
Yeah, 100%. I get the itch to play. That's just, and I think even when I'm done playing, whenever that is, I'll get that itch. I'm sure coaches get that itch to play, but my cards I got right now, that's not possible. So. But, when that time comes, I'll strap it up and give it my best shot.
I think you made it home a day or two before the conference championship game.
Yeah.
I know you're watching from home. Do you kind of remember that day, and particularly that second half, and seeing the guys come back and Daryl's performance?
Yeah, the first half I was screaming at the TV, screaming at the defense to stop the run. I was screaming at, the offense to take care of the ball and whatnot. But the second half, defense shut him down and DJ played lights out. So it was fun to see him, kind of grow up in a sense and come into his own and, win the MVP of the game. And, it was a lot of fun to watch. I wish I was there to share that moment with them, but, it was cool. I was watching with my dad. So, it was definitely, I felt like I was there.
Can you put into words, what it's been, this entire community has been behind you since the injury, the outpouring of support from everyone, even nationally. What does that mean to you?
It means everything, if, you told me that, this kind of would be happening when I first came to UCF, I would say you're crazy. But, God works in mysterious ways. And, I guess it kind of, I don't think it would have took an injury like this to have that kind of support. But, just the way Orlando's kind of rallied together has been very cool. And, I think it's only up from here.
How has your faith helped you through this process?
It's been everything. It's been everything. And, I think that's the main focal point, not even just, prior to the knee, that's what I try to lay my hat on. And I think, when, adversity strikes, for me, that's what I try to lean on. And even when things are going good, that's what I try to lean on. So it's never been, something that I question.
Did the Better Man people come to you about speaking, or how did that come?
Yes, they did. They did. It's not necessarily something that I'm super comfortable with, speaking to big crowds and whatnot, but, I feel like being a man of fate, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
Do you have to prepare something? Or, you have noticed a lot of people like to just, go on the cuff, but...
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. There's some messages I want to get across, but, I definitely want to speak from the heart.
Have you talked to anyone who else has encountered severe injuries, not so much like a torn ACL, but, something severe that happened to you?
Yeah, Zach Miller reached out, basically the same exact injury. Popliteal artery, almost lost his leg, and nerve damage as well. And, I've kept in touch with him, and, he's talked about his nerve coming back and my nerve coming back, and that's really one of the biggest parts of it. And there's also a kid in high school, or that, I'm not sure if he's out of high school now, but they showed him on the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys saw. His name's Alex Ruiz. He had the same injury as us too, and he lost his leg. So, 50% have to amputate when they have an injury like this. And, I'm just thankful that I wasn't one of those 50%. And I'm sure Zach is as well, but, it's still an uphill battle for sure.
What were those two ligaments that you did tear?
LCL and PCL.
Last one.
How has Brandon fit into the group, the quarterback?
He blends right in. It's like he's been here for 5 years. And, me along with him, we played the most snaps. So I think, having another veteran in there is good for us. He sees the game differently than I do. And, he's a heck of an athlete. So, he fits right into our QB room.